Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2 Unit 6.4 Notes Day 3. Today we are continuing our discussion on simplifying radical expressions. Our learning target today is to be able to simplify radical expressions with numbers and variables. Now, you can take an odd root of a negative number. You can. But you can't take an even root of a negative number. Why? Well, let's find out. So if I were to rewrite number 1, we would have, let me zoom in, zooming in, here we go. So if I were to rewrite this, we would have the square root, or the root of negative 32. This would be a negative 5 because, sorry, not a negative 5, Mr. Grice, come on. This would be a 5, and the 1 goes up front, or that's my exponent. So then I'm going back to my BFF over here, looking for 5, and we know that it's 2, but since it's negative, this would equal a negative 2. Now, if we check that, x to the 5th power, what number does it have to be? It would have to be a negative 2. Because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, if we have 5 negatives, it's going to be a negative. Now, that's an odd root. Odd. 5. Yes, odd. Now, even root. Let's take an example of an even root. If we were to rewrite this, there's my root. There's my 16. Sorry, once again, Mr. Grice. Come on, wake up. Negative 16. So there's my 4. And as I would do that, I can't take a root of a negative when it's an even, okay? Even if we come out here and, yep, I've got the calculator. If we do, let's see, the even root, okay, we go to math, I'm gonna hit number 5, and I have a 4 here, and there's negative 16. It's gonna tell me, nope, can't do it, not a real solution, okay? Because negative 2 to the 4th power is a positive 16, okay? We can't do this. This is no real solution, okay? It's impossible. We can't do it, okay? So this is our answer. Now, what we have here is just a combination of what we've been doing the other day, going backwards and forwards and trying to simplify everything. All right, so if I'm going from exponential to radical form, we would put the negative 243 down. It's going to go in parentheses. 5 is my root, and 2 is my exponent. Now, to simplify that, I'm going to go to my BFF right here, and I'm looking for the 5th power, 243, and that is 5. And since it's negative, it's going to be a negative 3, and then I still have to square that. And negative 3 squared, a negative times a negative, is a positive 9. Okay, so does that make sense? I went from 1, 2, and then I solved it 3. Okay, so here we go again. Pay attention to the negative. So my 125 is going to go out underneath the root. 3 is my root. and then my exponent is the -2. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve. Let's simplify it. 125 to the third root is 5. And now we have 5 to the -2nd power. Okay, coming over here, we're going to do all the steps. We would distribute the -2. So I have 5 to the -2nd. If my exponent's negative, I drop it like it's hot. And I know what 5 squared is. 5 squared is 25. So we get 1 over 25 is our final answer. Okay? Now, for this one, I have to go here. I have to write what the exponential form of that would be. So we know 16 is my base, 4 is my root, and 5 is my exponent. Okay? Now our next part is to solve it. So I'm looking over here. We're looking at 4 to the 16th. So I'm looking at the 4th power, and I find the 2 right away. So I come back over here. I know it's going to be 2 to the 5th power, and then 2 to the 5th power is 32. All right, and then here we go. So once again, I got to come over to this side first. I have -49, and then I need to know that my exponent is 3. If it doesn't have a number out there, it's the square root. And remember, this is a even, so can I take the root of a negative number when it's even? No, that's going to be, get the right color, Mr. Grice. No real solution. Okay. And if you're curious, use your calculator. You can check that. All right. On some of them, because down here it says no calculators. So you might want to memorize that rule. Sorry. Okay. So when we're simplifying, we need to break it down into radical form. Okay. This is not in radical form yet. So as I rewrite it, there's my 8. I need a root and for my exponent. Okay, my root is 3. My exponent is -1. Okay, the cubed root, I'm looking here. I go to the 3rd power, find my 8, and my answer is 2. Okay, so back over here, I have 2 to the -1st. I need to distribute my exponent, -1st. If my exponent's negative, I drop it like it's hot, and then the 1 goes on top. Number 6. We need to rewrite it first. So there's my root, -27. It's the cubed root to the 4th power. I can take the cubed root of a negative number. So I'm just going to the 3rd power, and I'm finding 27. It's 3. So my next step here, it's going to be -3. And now -3 to the 4th power, a negative times a negative times a negative times a negative is a positive, and 3 to the 4th power is 81. And how did I get 3 to the 4th power? I came right back here, and there it is. Sorry, got a little excited. There it is. Okay, number 7. So always rewrite it. If it's in exponential form, switch it to radical form. So it's a square root to the 3rd power. Now square roots, I don't need to put the 2 there, but I can't take the square root of a negative number. So this is no real solution. Okay, and that's all based on what the root is. If it's an odd, I could have done it. All right, so rewrite negative 64 underneath. There's my root to the 3rd root. And then we have a negative 2. 64 to the 3rd is going to be 4. And since it's negative, it's going to be a negative 4. So I have negative 4 to the negative 2nd power. If I distribute it, it's just going to stay exactly like that. So my exponent's negative. I can drop it like it's hot. I put a 1 on the top. And then 4 squared is 16. Remember, I'm just going back and forth between this worksheet to figure out all these numbers. Okay? So number 9 I like because it's already in radical form. I can do 64 to the 6th power, which is 2. So then we have 2 to the negative 5th power. My exponent's negative. I can drop it like it's hot. And then 2 to the 5th power is 32. Okay, next one. Oh, sorry. Let's just look inside of that. Even. So I'm going to write even right here. And right here, this is negative. So this is no real solution. And if you notice that right away, that's all you have to do. Okay. Hopefully you guys are starting to memorize some of these. Oh, there we go. 216 to the 3rd root is 6. And then we still have 6 squared, and 6 squared is 36. All right, number 12. 256 to the 4th root. 4. Oh, you don't want my calculator. Nope, you don't want that. There we go. Okay, so we have 4, and now 4 cubed. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. And I got it by looking at this. No secrets here, guys. All right. Now the last part. We also want you to be able to simplify radical expressions that contain variables. So to do this, we want to simplify the numbers inside the radical by using the appropriate root. Doing the exponents of the variables by the root. So if it's a 6th root, divide the exponents by 6. Okay? So we'll kind of do this a little bit at a time. We're going to break it up. So here's what we do. I worry about this guy first. So 81 to the 4th root, and then I take my m, my exponent is 12, but then I want to divide that by 4. Okay, so 81 to the 4th root, just looking at that sheet, it's m, and then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, like, whoa, how do you do that? Don't worry, I'll show you again. So we break this up, okay? This part stays the exact same. We have the cubed root of negative 64, and then I have my x and my y. I have the 6 and the 9, and then I'm going to divide those both by 3. Okay? Now, negative 64 to the cubed root, it's odd and negative, so I can do that. Just looking at my sheet, 64 to the cubed root is going to be 4, and it's going to be a negative 4. And then we're going to have x, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we get negative 4x squared y cubed. Okay. Number 5. This part stays the exact same. Okay. So I'm taking the 5th root of negative 32. A, B, and C. I have 5, 10, and 25. And I'm going to divide each of those by 5. Okay? So to do that, negative 32 to the 5th root is negative 2. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And 25 divided by 5 is 5. Okay, so it's not too hard. It's just a little, takes a little while to get used to. Okay, now for number 6, we have it in, excuse me, exponential form. So the first thing to do is to change this whole thing into radical form. So negative 216 k cubed w to the 6th, and this is a negative 3. Okay, sorry, a positive 3. I don't need the 1 there. I break each one down, so I'm going to take the cubed root of negative 216, and then k and w. My exponents stay the same. I'm just going to divide them by 3. So we get negative 6 k to the 1st w squared, and since it's k to the 1st, I do not need to have an exponent there. Okay, number 7, why don't you see if you can try to set it up? Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so you can see how I rewrote it, and then I kind of broke down each piece. I did not write the square right here because it's a square root. I don't have to. The square root of 25 is 5. We get m squared n to the 6th power. Okay, and the last one, you guys are all on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. And there you go. Now, if you have any questions or you need extra help, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 2, Unit 6.4 Notes, Day 3. Thanks for watching.